No matter how much you try to avoid this, the story's not going to go away. City Council's at it again. It's agreed to file paperwork siding with the plaintiffs challenging the immigration law in Arizona, claiming it interferes with federal power and authority over immigration matters. City Council's already passed an economic boycott of the state and continues to involve itself with matters outside of L.A. Taxpayers of Los Angeles are paying to have the council take time to deal with Arizona. Now, there were two opponents here, Councilman Paul Krikorian and Bill Rosendahl. Krikorian called Arizona's law misguided, but said that the council should not add more work for the city attorney's staff, which is already facing a reduction in personnel. This was not the right time to ask them to weigh in at taxpayers' expense on an ordinance that's out of state. When does the city council cross the line of political posturing to a waste of taxpayers' time and money, Matt?
They already crossed that line. You have two council members at least have some common sense, because the rest of them are Nero's fiddling while Rome burns. I think their city is in a fiscal crisis. And rather than address it, they're trying to change the subject to a matter that is completely beyond their control, whether they agree with it or not. It's just silly, and it makes them look silly. And if they can't focus on the job they're elected to do, which is to provide basic services for the citizens of Los Angeles, the ones that government is there to provide, such as public safety, streets, transportation that works. If they can't do that, and they want to spend their time assigning city attorneys, figuring out how to file a friend a brief for a law that doesn't impact California at all, they all ought to be out of office, frankly, come the next election, with the exception of Rosendahl and his colleague, who are the only ones who seem to understand what they're elected to do.
Charlotte, we've got about a minute left here. What do you think?
Well, first of all, Smith did vote against it, and there were some shenanigans that went on yesterday, so I wouldn't give Rosendahl a lot of credit until you know more about it. But I definitely think this is a big problem. They're doing this. I talked to the city attorney's office today, and they have no experience in this area. They're going to have to assign at least 2 attorneys to do a lot of research. It's definitely going to cost the taxpayers some money. And my council, a couple of days ago, actually passed a motion saying that we did not approve of the boycott that the city council has put forth, the boycott of Arizona, and that the city council should pay attention to issues in LA rather than meddling in the affairs of another state. And that's what they're doing. And I think when they start costing the taxpayer money, it's a real problem. But it's also contradictory what they're doing, because they're saying they want an amicus brief filed that says that Arizona shouldn't meddle in the affairs of the federal government, when in fact they're a city in the state of California that's meddling in the affairs of Arizona. So the whole thing makes absolutely no sense at all. And it will be interesting to see what Chutanish decides to do.
Fascinating and well put, Charlotte. Okay. City of Los Angeles believes in red light cameras. City of Anaheim does not. If you could vote, would you vote to keep them or get rid of them? Anaheim voters will have that chance in November. City Council voted to place it on the ballot. Anaheim Mayor Kurt Pringle doesn't think red light cameras should be used as a way to make money for the city. His term is up at the end of the year. He's afraid new people, when elected, would try to install them. Red light cameras as a way to make money. Keep them or vote to ban them, Charlotte?
Should ban them. I'm just not into Big Brother, and I feel that, there's actually a study last year that shows that law enforcement gives more tickets when they're trying to make money during a recession. And that's what this is really all about. I also don't really think they're effective because, for example, there's a guy in Phoenix where they have many of these red light cameras who wears a monkey mask, and he's piled up about 37 tickets and he refuses to pay them. And I spoke to an attorney who specializes in this kind of law in Los Angeles.
What, in monkey mask wearing people?
Exactly. And he said that they basically have to have your image on camera. And if you have a mask on, or say you let a friend, you switch cars with your friend and it's a male driving and they don't have your picture, basically the judge is going to have to throw it out. It's very hard to make that stick. So I think it's a waste of time and money, and I think it's Big Brother, and I'm opposed to it.
What do you think, Matt? You're in Orange County. Ban them, keep them.
Ban them. I think Charlotte's exactly right. This is a moneymaker, and local governments around the state are strapped. And I think the current Anaheim City Council would not use it for that purpose, but I think, like Mayor Pringle is saying, he wants to amend the city charter to make sure a future council doesn't decide to, under the guise of public safety, just use these to ramp up revenues to the city, because they can always increase the price, the fine of a ticket for a red light ticket. And it's just like in my city. I mean, if you park on the street on street sweeping day, it costs you $50. Now, it's not a $50 offense, but it's a revenue maker for the city. So I think that's what it would. There's a temptation that could end up that way in Anaheim. I think it's a prudent thing to amend the city charter to prevent future councils from exploiting it for that reason.
Well,
the good news is that I found out that most of these, or many of these red light cameras are produced in Arizona. So it doesn't seem like they'll be coming to LA since we're boycotting Arizona.
so that'll be it for the cameras. All right. Nice job tonight, you guys. I really appreciate it. I'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you.
All right. Hey, do you think Barbara Boxer needs a new hairdo? Carly Fiorina does.
If you're so smart, prove it. Contact NBC Filter on Twitter or Facebook, or send an email to thefilter@nbcuni.com. We care what you think, but if we don't like it, we'll filter you.